currently 109.
Copenhagen, Denmark. So I'm just walking down the street here. I came across like a Mexican themed restaurant. This is the Border Burgers and Burgers versus burritos. I don't particularly care to have any food right now because I've already eaten, but I saw something familiar and I'm gonna draw your attention to it. Check it out.
You're at 109 right now.
Hey guys, so I'm walking through New York City here. I'm testing out the GoPro. I wanted to get that particular angle of me and what I look like walking the streets between those tall buildings. That was a little test. And then I forgot to continue to film that way throughout my journey. So now I guess I got tired. I wanted to affix the GoPro to a handheld device or of some sort, but I forgot my GoPro bolt or screw to help me affix it to some handheld device. So I had to go to Best Buy and buy a screw. They don't sell them individually, or rather they didn't have them in stock. And so what I did is I purchased this clip-on device that allowed me to affix the GoPro to this clip. So now what you're watching is footage that I captured from a GoPro that was clipped onto the shoulder strap of my backpack. And this young woman seemed to know where she was headed. She was walking with some direction, and she walked in front of me and I kind of followed her. She was kind of like my linebacker, making way for me. Of course, I didn't want to seem creepy, like, hey, I'm following you, which I mean technically I wasn't, but we were just going in the same direction, so it seemed as if I was following. At least I was aware of how close I was to her, and that we were, headed in the same direction. But anyway, good looking black woman walking through the city of New York. Yeah, dig. And I captured her a few paces. Yep. So anyway, I'm walking through the streets. Pretty much I didn't have a destination in mind. Just I was taking in the city, taking in Times Square, and whatever. I remember on this day walking to Muji. It's a Japanese store. That's where I decided to go, because I discovered that Muji was over there to the left across the street. And that's where I decided to go. I think I saw it maybe right here, or maybe I had seen it before. I was deciding what to do next. So I went to the Muji store. I'll tell you that the Muji store was pretty cool because there were some vendors there and they were selling their goods. I bought some Japanese brownies and I ate them over the course of 2 or 3 days. They were delicious. Alright, so like I said, I didn't have a particular destination in mind. I was absolutely going to go to this destination. This is 57 Great Jones Street. That white building behind me is, or it once was, Jean-Michel Basquiat's apartment and studio. He lived there and he actually died right there of a heroin overdose. So I went there to pay homage, to see his his home and his studio. Outside there's a lot of graffiti that has been drawn not to vandalize but to pay homage to Basquiat. And that's what I was doing, paying homage to Basquiat. After that, I went to this record store in Dumbo. I went to Dumbo, Brooklyn. And I went to this record store. The story behind me finding this place is I was listening to Talib Kweli's podcast, and I remembered that Talib Kweli had at one time a bookstore in Brooklyn. And since I was in New York, I was going to go to Brooklyn, and I wanted to go to Talib Kweli's bookstore. And so I searched for his bookstore. I didn't find an address, and although I did find an email address, so I emailed what I thought was Talib Kweli, asking him if he had a brick and mortar bookstore anymore, because I could not find the address. Someone responded, I believe someone on his team, I believe her name was Donna, and Donna told me, no, there's no brick and mortar for Talib Kweli's bookstore, everything's online. But she said there are some stores in Brooklyn that are black owned that you should check out. So she recommended this store right here. The brother behind the ones and twos is Ali. He's the owner. He's 1/3 of the ownership body. Three brothers together on the spot. So I stopped in to check out their digs, check out their wares. It's a cool spot. And so Donna told me in the email, check out Ali's spot, but also across the way, just across from Ali, there's another store, another black-owned store, but it's actually a black-owned bookstore. So she's like, yo, Talib Kweli's spot isn't open, but these spots, you should go check them out, and they're in Brooklyn. So I said, all right. See, I paid homage, put my little 109 sticker up there. Right. So the Dumbo record store, black-owned record store, right? And it's dope. This street where these black-owned businesses are located is called Water Street. So that reminds me of Common, Common borrowed the title Like Water for Chocolate. I think that is so apropos, for what they're doing. Like water for chocolate. And I'm bouncing back, showing you Jean-Michel studio and apartment, showing you what I left behind as remnants. Scan that, go there, check it out. That's me. Okay, so after Ali's spot, went to Darlene's spot, and this spot is called ADANNE. Forgive me if I've misspelled it, Darlene. It's coming up. I have the address. I took some footage of the address, so you can absolutely. I know I got the address right. I've got the street right. So even if I mispronounced her name, then you can definitely go and find her for sure. And I'm recording the voiceover right now, but I'm gonna do my due diligence and I'll add in. I'll edit this once I'm finished with the voiceover, and I'll make sure to put the address and the correct name of the business. So you'll see that right about there, right there. See, I put it right there. Told you. That's what's up. I had a wonderful conversation with both of the owners of both spots. They weren't busy, which is a shame. We need to go over there and patronize their businesses. Nah, I think I just got lucky. I'm sure they get busy. Or if they weren't busy, then we definitely need to show support. So I hope if you're watching this video, you can support them. I bought some pins. I bought a pin. What do you describe that? It's one of those pins that you put on a sweater. A button. That's what it is. I bought some buttons, and they have the needles on the back. Whatever. See, this is what I was talking about. I have a shot. Okay, this is Water Street. This is where they're located. You have some apartments across the way. Beautiful, lovely area. Ali's spot is over there on the left. It says 247, I believe. 247 Water Street. That's Ali's joint. And then across the street, just as Donna told me, is ADANNE 105. See, 105 Water Street. Books and goods. So that's what's up, right? So then I left. Spent some time over there. I patronized their businesses. Learned a little bit about them. And then I was on my way. This is Dumbo, y'all. Dumbo, Brooklyn. Where Brooklyn at? Where Brooklyn at? You dig? Just walking around Dumbo. Okay, at this point, what did I do? Because before, I don't remember having the GoPro affixed to my shoulder. But right here, I was sitting down and I had affixed the GoPro to my shoulder. Now, it's on my shoulder. So I'm curious, how was I filming before? Was I holding the camera? I might have been holding the GoPro before. I don't know. I forgot. This was such a picturesque street. Everyone was taking photos in front of the Brooklyn Bridge, So there I am walking the streets. What can I say? The weather was great. It was warm, but it really wasn't that bad. Right now, as I'm recording this voiceover, I'm in Los Angeles, and we're going through a heat wave. And this is way worse than it was in New York at any time. So, go figure. Lots of people were down here in this section eating ice cream, snapping photos. Lots of tourists. It definitely seemed that way. Lots of tourists. Yup. Just walking the streets of New York. That part, walking the streets and taking the subway everywhere, was great. I remember my legs were killing me, not killing me, I had walked so much that my legs were, my goodness, I hadn't exercised like that in a very long time, so they were slightly sore. So I had very good night rests when I got back to the hotel. I slept and got recharged. But once I got back on those streets and got to walking a little bit, I could feel it in my legs, oh man, because I'm not used to walking like this. In California, Los Angeles, I'm used to driving everywhere. And, I mentioned this when I was in New York, if you're walking in LA, something's wrong with you. Yo, are you homeless? Are you crazy? Everybody, LA, California. LA is car culture central. Today, actually, I rode my bike. So I posted another video to YouTube where I was filming as I was riding my bike. Look at those dapper brothers. suited and everything. It was a little too warm for suits, but I guess they were going to stay indoors wherever they were headed. Yeah, so station identification. Kobe, let them know.
You're at 109 right now.
That's what's up. Okay, so I had walked through this shopping area under the bridge, and then when I put the GoPro on, and now I'm doubling back. So actually, this is the second time I walked through this the little shopping area, which you will see in a moment. You know, they pick and choose when they have these. Like, what day was this? Was this a Saturday? Yeah, it had to have been a Saturday. This Dumbo market. You know, real people selling real things. Cool little sign says Dumbo. Friendly folk with interesting wares. You see? Everybody's out and about chilling. You dig? And then I happened upon one of these vendors selling Japanese garments right here. I thought it was kind of cool, but also at the same time, like, very much cultural appropriation. And I was like, man, if I can't read this stuff, if I don't know it like that, I'm not putting it on. That's sincerely cultural appropriation. And I'm just like, nah, I'm cool, man. I'm not doing that one. Even though I love Japanese culture and I think Japanese everything is fly, I'm not doing it like that. Yep. So I'm moving on. Yep, making my way. Yep, just walking. Taking in the sights, looking at the people. If you go back just a few seconds, those ladies were looking at the schedule. I didn't stop long enough to film it, but that was the schedule for this market, you know. Saturdays or Sundays or whenever. Yup. New York, just some real fly stuff, dude. Lots of people out. I'm just moving through the city. So there you have it. You could go to a market in Dumbo. See those buildings back there? You might have an apartment, you know, might have a loft. And the people gather outside across the street from your apartment. And you've got access to like some pretty good deals, you know, right there, right on your block. It felt very safe. Alright, here we are. I had turned the camera off and now I'm just maybe a block away or something from that market. I'm still in Dumbo, walking the streets, filming and stuff, trying to find something interesting. Just walking the streets of Dumbo. I learned about Dumbo, I guess, in 2017 when Jay-Z had those lyrics on that song. He wrote that song. Well, he doesn't write songs. He just, you know, raps them. The Story of OJ from his album 444. Shout out to Jay for using numerology, invoking, you know, those triple digits, 444. Yeah, so Jay said something about he regretted not buying real estate in Dumbo because look at what it is today. It's flourishing. It's a nice little Mexican restaurant right there. Mexican or Oaxacan, I think. Yeah, so Jay in his rhyme, the story of OJ felt dumb because he didn't buy property in Dumbo. He said he could have, I forgot the exact lyrics, but let's imagine he said he could have purchased it for $2 million, and that same property today would be like worth $8 million. And Jay was like, oh, you know. So anyway, I'm making my way away from that market where I was a moment ago, and then I hit Water Street. Here it is, Water Street. So I'm making my way up Water Street, going back to those businesses, and in the distance I see this man walking, a black man of all, alone walking, and I'm wondering, should I say what's up to bruh or leave him alone? Ta-Nehisi Coates?
Yeah.
Hey man, so I went and I got I'm sorry to bother you.
No, that's right.
So I got my book made at Black Classic Press.
Oh, okay.
I met your sister.
Yeah.
And everything.
Yeah, Chris. Yeah. What's your name, brother?
My name is Larry. Larry
Okay.
Wiggs.
All right.
Pleasure.
Yeah.
So yeah, man. So I knew the face, but I was like, because there's always that moment. I'm like, I don't know if I'm gonna say what's up to bro, but then I recognize your face. I'm like, oh, I'm stopping, brother, man. I know the brother.
Yeah.
I'm filming right now too, so
Okay.
this is what's up.
All right.
So peace and blessings, man. It's good to see you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
All right. You have a good one, brother.
Thank you.
All right. Peace.
Yeah. So after that happened, I was just like, wow. You know, I was glad that I was in Dumbo. You know, it was like if you're in a really nice neighborhood, things like that will happen. You know, nice things attract, you know, people. You know, all different types of people. You know, especially those people that you want to meet. You know, celebrities and stuff, distinguished individuals. If you hear it, there's a rhythmic pattern. Slosh, slosh, slosh. That's my shoe. My shoe is making that sound. I like the design of the shoes, but because they make that noise, I do not prefer wearing them. So anyway, that made my day, running into Ta-Nehisi Coates. And as I was explaining to him, you know, it kind of reminds me, our interaction, it reminds me of that joke by Chris Rock. He's like, you know, from a distance, I look like any other black man to the police or what have you. So from a distance, the police or someone's thinking, nigga, and then when you get close up on them, you're like, nigga, oh, it's Chris Rock. So the perception changes then, you dig? So very much the same way. This is some real. Okay, right here. I'm explaining that on the left side, that's where Ali's shop is, and on the right side, that's where Darlene's spot is. Okay, but back to the story. Yeah, so if a black man is walking from a distance, like that's what they say. That's what Chris Rock was saying. That's what the police were thinking. You know, nigga. Oh, it's Chris Rock. You know. Yeah, it's an interesting reality. So when I saw Ta-Nehisi Coates from a distance, I saw a black man walking my way with a jersey, right? And, you know, I'm not thinking, at least if I'm thinking nigga, I'm not thinking of it derogatorily. I'm thinking, here goes another brother, right? So, but then I looked, you know, I was conflicted. I was like, all right, do I say what's up to brother? Because, you know, I don't want to, you know, this is New York, so, you know, just say what's up. A little head nod, acknowledgement, that's good. But then when I recognized who it was, nah, man, I couldn't just let the brother walk past. I couldn't just walk past the brother. Nah, I had to let him know, man, I know who you are. You know, it's Ta-Nehisi Coates. I wish I could have, you know, chatted with him. But, you know, ain't nobody got time for that. You dig? But, yeah, so I walked past him. So that was really, really cool. Very cool. But, you know, it was all, you know, it was a political thing. It was like, man, do I say what's up to this black man? Or do I just play it cool and just let him go on his way? I was like, nah, I'm going to say what's up. And then Notice it was Ta-Nehisi Coates, man. Shoot. Yep. That's like encountering Malcolm X or Martin Luther King, man. Shoot. That's what that was like for me. Brother has written some books, man, and has eloquently articulated so much of the black experience, you know. Salute to that king, right? Because nigga, N-E-G-U, that means king. But whatever. So back to this Dumbo. Yeah, I was on my way out of Dumbo at this point. I had seen enough. I was going to get a smoothie, but they were talking about cash only, and I was using my credit card, so I'm like, I'm cool. I'm not going to use the little cash that I have on a little smoothie. So here I am getting on the subway, like the E train or something. Yeah, probably the E train. I think the E was green. E train and the 6 train were green. So I'm walking back. This is all shoulder GoPro footage. You know, just the real deal in New York. New York, big city of dreams. And everything in New York ain't always what it seems. You might get if you might get hurt if you come from out of town, but I'm down by law, and that's word. Something like that, I guess. First time I was in New York was around 2002, 2003. Let me see. It was after. I know I was there. I was there when there was a black man at the top of America Online. America Online is so long ago. But yeah, there was a black man who was the head of America Online, AOL. And I think his name was Parsons. That's the first time that I went to New York. Second time I was with my mom and my sister in New York. I went to see Les Miserables with my mom. My sister, my mom, and I rode the train. We went to Harlem. We went to 125th Street, the Apollo Theater. We didn't go inside. We just walked around Harlem. Then we got back on the train. We went to Ground Zero because obviously it was after September 11th, 2001. It was after that. So it must have been 2002. No, I think it was 2003. Yep. So yeah, surprisingly enough, it's 21 years after September 11th. I took this trip in September. So this let's see, as I'm recording this, it's September 9th. So in 2 days it'll be September 11th. So there you have it. You know, it's probably exactly, well, I can't say exactly because I don't recall when we took our trip. I don't remember when we took our trip. So I can't say it's exactly 20 years from that time that we traveled. I don't know. But it's been about 20 years since I was in New York last. And the last time I was there, I was with my mom, my sister. My mom and my sister. Yep. That's what happened. Yep. So this is just some New York subway, footage. I wasn't trying to film butts. I'm just sitting down and recording. That's just what it is. That's just the angle at which I was filming. So that's what you see. Yup. I'll cut off of this in a moment and give you some other footage as I'm exiting the subway. But that's it, guys. That's really it. I went to Dumbo. I went to Brooklyn. And after that trip, Darlene was so nice. Super nice, super cool. I could just talk to her for a long time, She actually had already been to LA. She had just come back from LA. So I'm from LA and I'm in New York, and she's like, oh. When I began speaking to her, she's like, wait a minute, you're not from Brooklyn, you're not from New York, where are you from? You know, I'm like, I'm from LA. She's like, no way, I just got back from LA, yada yada yada. So she had been to Leimert Park. She was traveling with books, you know, selling books, doing her thing. And so to catch an entrepreneur in the act, you know, was very, very cool. And to just get her perspective and just chop it up with her, that was very cool. Her spot is dope, and that's really what it was about, you know, connecting with folk. You dig? With me and Ali, you know, Ali makes music, and so I asked him to play some music for me. So he put on a couple of tracks, and I was digging it. Some cool tracks, you know. I'm a West Coast dude, so I have kind of a West Coast ear. So I was listening for some West Coast, you know, like some conventional West Coast music. I mean, I knew I was in the East Coast, but I'm like, yo, let me hear some fly stuff, you know. So when I didn't hear that, I had to adjust and be like, okay, let me see what he's talking about. Let me see what's up. So I heard some things that I liked, though. Some jazzy, smooth type of stuff, which was real cool. Yup. So, you know, like all around, I had some good moments there, you know, meeting, because I was alone with these folks, you dig? I caught them, you know, maybe at a vulnerable moment. Caught Ali, he was alone, chilling in his spot. Darlene was fixing up her spot. Oh, you check me out right here. I got lost. I was walking in one direction, trying to find my hotel, which was in the opposite direction, and I went over there. Surprisingly, like, I paid attention, and after a few trips, I had it down pat. I knew which way was which. You know, I looked, and I could exit from any of those subways properly. I could tell, okay, I need to exit on the southwest corner, southeast corner, or if I come up on the southeast corner, I know which direction to walk in, you know. So I was able to get my bearings rather quickly. And that's just something that I've done, you know, internationally. I've been to so many cities, and, you know, after a few days, I pretty much know the lay of the land. You dig? Here I am coming up on the fire department to the left. We're about to approach some police officers, and the police officer, the police woman, noticed I had a camera, and she looked a little shocked. Like, oh, wasn't expecting to see someone with a camera. Yep, but I had one. So it's all good, all good. I'm walking to the Pod 51 hotel. So come with me, y'all. Come walk with me. I'm going to Pod 51. That's my hotel, right down the street from the FedEx office and the Panda Express that you see over there. I ate at the Panda Express. The first meal that I had once I got to NYC. I put my things down at my hotel room. Look at me, I'm jaywalking. I'm crossing the street. I don't have the light. That's how they do in New York. That's something I became accustomed to rather quickly. I'm like, because they have one-way streets, it's easier to walk across the street and not be so concerned about traffic, because you have a one-way. You dig? So, yeah, so I went to that Panda Express. That was the first place that I ate. Dropped my bags off, and then I walked to the corner. I wasn't interested in Panda Express, but it was convenient. So after that, I found a lovely Vietnamese restaurant not far from the hotel. I found a Trader Joe's. Well, you had to walk several blocks. The Vietnamese restaurant you had to walk far to find. 2 blocks east, like 2 or 3 blocks north. Or rather, was that uptown or downtown? I think that's like 2 blocks uptown. Anyway, really nice Vietnamese pho. Really close, really near to the Pod 51 is a Thai restaurant. I went there I think 3 times. Excellent food. It's expensive. This is 51st Street. This is not cheap at all. This was the cheapest accommodation I could find, but it was not cheap at all. Okay. And oh yeah, to the left over there, there's this beautiful park. Beautiful park. You know, you need a calming zen oasis in the middle of the city, much like the Central Park, but on a very smaller scale. And just across the street is such a place. They even have a waterfall, beautiful plants. Oh yeah, so this Pod 51 was like, it was nice for its location. You get zen, you get great restaurants nearby, and yeah, you couldn't see the restaurant. I just passed it. This is the entrance to the hotel. They had a little bar downstairs. I never went into the bar. No reason for all that. The front desk is over there. Yep. Oh, look, I got lucky. The elevator was waiting for me. Right this way, sir. I stayed on the 8th floor. If I go back to New York, I don't have a problem staying at Pod 51. I had a great time. However, my accommodation was so small. It was like a single. I'll do the double. I would do a larger bed, and I would take a private bathroom. I had the shared bathroom, which wasn't a problem, but I mean, it was so small. It reminded me of what I would imagine a prison cell is like. I mean, much cozier, much comfier than a prison cell, but I mean, my goodness, that thing was so tiny. And then there was a stainless steel sink in there. Stainless steel reminded me. See, here it is. Yeah. That's it, folks. That's all.